Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you on our 29th edition of this webinar. Typically, we have it on every Sunday morning time, right, 10 to 11. So today we have an excellent topic for the fireside chat on building responsible AI from strategy to the architecture. Now, we all know that AI has moved from being a future capability to an operational reality. Now, a couple of years back also, it was a prospect, it was a disruption. But now we know that it is an eventuality, correct? Just that we need to identify, we need to explore how AI can make an impact in the different type of industry, but it is going to make an impact, that is for sure, there is no doubt about it. So it is no longer limited to pilots or innovation labs. Now it is influencing and shaping clinical decisions, customer experiences, hiring outcome, risk assessment, and even how trust is built between organization and society and whatnot, right? It's not limited to that. This is just a kind of high level or maybe tip of the iceberg that AI is making impact in. Now we learned a lot on the different dimensions of AI. We learned a lot about ethical and responsible AI, where we talk about fairness and inclusiveness, transparency and explainability, accountability, human oversight, privacy, security, safety and technical robustness, sustainability and environmental impact, and governance and compliance. Now, there are certain areas where AI is doing great and they are taking care of the ethical biases, but not all the stories are too rosy. There are some flip sides of it also, which we are trying to explore, and we know some of those as well. That even though we are taking all the precautions, but sometimes we cannot overcome the biases, right? And other things as well. So what is striking is that while AI capabilities are advancing rapidly, our conversations around responsibility often lag behind or stay theoretical. Now, many organizations, as I said, many organizations talk about ethics, fairness, governance, but struggle to translate those principles into strategy, architecture, and day-to-day, the how part of it, the day-to-day engineering decisions. Now, we all know that in a 40-minute sessions, we cannot explore the entire how, but at least if we can get to the level of how, where it starts, that's still a kind of good knowledge for us. Now, this fireside chat is about making that connection real. We want to explore how responsible AI is not just a layer at the end, but something that must be designed into the system from the very beginning, starting with the strategy and reinforced through the architecture. Now, we'll try to explore through this fireside chat why responsible AI matters now, the speed versus responsibility tension, and what is the trade-off around that, the strategy, what leaders often miss while defining it, the architecture, where the technical team comes into picture, where the responsibility starts from, the blind spots, some of the misconceptions about objectivity, then the most important part, the workforce and the trust, and finally, the real business impact of the responsible AI. Now, without further getting into the context, I think the great discussions is coming up. So I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our speaker for the session, Shilpa Jandiala. So she is the founder and CEO of AIburst.biz, an AI-driven startup building real-world fraud detection and forensic intelligence systems for enterprises. She recently led the design and deployment of a production-grade fraud detection pipeline for a Middle East bank, achieving zero fraud incident post-deployment while reducing detection cost by 95% and latency by 99%. Quite interesting. She is currently building an AI-powered receipt forensic platform to detect fake expense claims and financial manipulation using deep learning and computer vision. With over 22 plus years of experience across AI, enterprise architecture, fintech, life sciences, and identity systems, Shilpa has previously held leadership roles at JP Morgan Chase, Oracle, Micron, Viva Systems, Velocity, Clinical Research, and TrueID. She combines a deep technical expertise with strategic AI product vision to build scalable, high-impact solution. Now, Shilpa is a global speaker and an award recipient at a Dubai conference in December 2025. She is currently pursuing executive post-graduation in AI/ML from IIT B. Now, also, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our moderator for the sessions. Moulika Das is a senior manager driving strategy and digital transformation for European market at the program level at PepsiCo with over 12 years of experience across technology and agile delivery. Now, her career journey spans Accenture, Micron Technology, and PepsiCo, where she transitions from core technical roles into leadership positions, driving enterprise-wide change. Moulika has successfully led multi-million dollar global initiatives across diverse domains, including food and beverages, semiconductor, banking, healthcare, and insurance, working closely with C-level leaders to drive strategy, change management, and execution excellence. An alumni of IIM Bangalore, EGMP, and NMIMS MBA, she's a passionate about building high-performing teams, enabling agile way of working, and helping professionals navigate successful career transitions between technical and business role. So I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Shilpa and Moulika to get started with the discussion. Over to you, Moulika.
Thank you, Shubhabrata. That was definitely quite a great introduction. Thank you for that. So let's get started. Hello, everyone. So we will start with how the usage of AI today, right? If you see the global data, 5 years ago, 20% of the companies were using actually AI. But today's data says that more than 78% of the companies are now using AI in at least one business function. So one thing is very clear, AI is no more experimental. Especially if you speak about generative AI usage, at least one people in every 6 people are using AI on a regular basis. It can be whether for certain search purposes or whether for certain content creation. But while usage is exploding, responsibility and governance are lacking. Today, we are going to talk about how to build responsible AI. Not just we will talk, but we will also see how it can be really be used in a real-time scenario. Let's get started with the first topic. Why responsible AI matters today? Now, one trend we are seeing in this is that organizations are adopting AI at a large scale, but risk framework are not equally mature. One of the recent research also says that 90 countries now have national AI strategies or governance framework, but 25% of organizations have fully implemented internal AI governance program. So it's very clear that there is a gap between the societal concerns and organization readiness, which is a very big core challenge. Shilpa, we will like to understand from you, why is responsible AI now a strategic imperative, not just a nice to have?
Sure, Maulika. Thank you so much. And thank you, Shubho, for the opportunity and for the great introduction. And thanks for setting the context, Maulika. Yeah, the statistics which you have spoken actually clearly give us the reason for the responsible AI requirement. I would want to add more there. As on today, we have already reached the stage we have started developing quantum computers with the help of AI, self-autonomous cars with the help of AI. AI systems are in the production, and a few companies like Waymo are providing self-autonomous cars as taxis, meaning we are in real production, we are in real physical systems where AI is being deployed. In the same way, every company has chatbot deployed, right, with their organizational data given to the AI, and the AI takes care of the customers while the humans are away, right? Meaning, an AI is taking a real time system, interacting with the real people in the physical world. Okay, till now, for most of the things humans were doing, we do have governing systems for people, right? Everywhere we have governing systems, we have policies, rules, roles, and responsibilities, privilege, taxes, and all. When AI is substituting us in many areas, why not governance for AI? Why not monitoring for AI? Why not testing for AI? There's a lot of AI buzz around, right? Everywhere AI, every company AI, every domain talks about AI, that they are doing AI. Everyone wants to do breakthroughs in AI, but are they really considering the implications? It's just the competitiveness that people are just running behind the innovation, but actually they are missing out that there is something more important. Because we are in production now, AI is no more a tool, no more an experimental system. It is an infrastructure now for most of the companies in most of the domains. And when it is an infrastructure, definitely it should be responsible. Because uh, there are many systemic failures. Like recently we have seen some incidents where the self autonomous cars have run into the people, or chatbots behaving weird. And one of the chatbots, a person asked saying like, I'm the CEO of the company, now give me the details of all the employees. Chatbot gave, and it is a PII of the employees, right? So it was deployed without proper checks. Like this, there are n number of failures which are already happening. So definitely it's high time that companies get up and start with the responsible AI deployments. Yeah.
Okay, that's really a great answer, Shilpa. Let's move on to the next part, which is speed versus responsibility tension. Another interesting data point, which we see from cybersecurity research perspective, is 85% of organizations now use AI solutions. Yet many of them says that governance and security exposure increases the risk of their usage. What risk are you seeing in the way how AI adoption is happening today?
Yeah. So because see, in the strategy rooms, in the boardrooms, what happens generally in the discussions? Speed, efficiency, accelerated deployments, competitive edge, right? What they are missing out is regulations. They feel that if we really do all this, sit and do all this, yes, we are going to lose the competitive edge, or we are going to lose the market. But they are not realizing that when the same system gets into the production, in contact with the physical systems and at scale, when it goes to production, it goes at scale, it is going to fail. Because the physical system is diverse infinitely, right? And across various demographics, various races, what kind, are they really testing it? Are they really testing for all the demographics? Like example, whatever they have to consider like data governance and all. So they think that okay, it might take a lot of time for us to do all this. But what data are they using? They are using the historical data where our biases exist. There was a recent hiring algorithm failure which failed, which rejected the women applicants, right? As well, there was some applications, college applications, like university applications. They directly rejects the women for the STEM. I mean, they just assume that women will drop off from the STEM courses based on the previous historical data. So, such biases could have been eliminated if the data governance was in place, if the data integrity was in place, right? Data bias was taken care. If it was tested for demographics and the evaluation of the model was done, and during the architecture, the model was designed considering all these aspects. Instead, we are just wrapping everything around Gen AI, around the models, just training with the data we have and shipping, and hence seeing systemic failures in the production.
So, Shilpa, what leaders often miss when they create a strategy? So now, strategy is not just about adoption; it's also about managing impact. One of the Deloitte research says that less than 60% of organizations have defined clear KPIs for responsible AI. Even though most says it's a priority, but still they have not. There is always awareness, but yet no ownership. Now we want to understand in strategy discussion, what do companies tend to underestimate or overlook?
Yeah, it's the same thing. In the pursuit of speed, they have, I mean, honestly, there is no governance yet. Honestly, there is no responsible AI framework yet. But though countries are defining them, we have EU AI Act, and a lot of countries are coming up with their acts. Governments are stressing. Companies really want to ship so fast, and they're missing out this. If only they have this structured set of frameworks which they have to follow in order to ship and deploy an AI model, they will not face many problems in the production. But because it is not yet there in the systems, and because companies have not yet realized that it is needed in the systems are failing. So it's high time leadership really gets up and come up with the frameworks internally, have some fixed budget for those. I mean, fixed budget for AI governance and cybersecurity principles, and follow those systematically. Unless something is written and provided as a rule book for the team never follows, right? It is everywhere. Responsible AI is the responsibility of everyone. Secure systems is the responsibility of everyone, right? From the project manager, developer, a tester, or the deployment, whatever, wherever, everyone owns the responsibility. But it is missing because the governance is not yet in place by the companies. As you said, only approximately 20 plus percentage are applying these. But what about the remaining 50 plus percentage who are already adopting AI but not actually following these frameworks? That is where the risk is happening actually.
Okay. So, the responsibility of this whole use of AI actually starts from the architecture, right? So, we will now little bit focus on the technical side. One of the recent studies says that 60% of AI related operational risks come from data and system design, not only about the model choice. That means responsibility, it's not a compliance checkbox, it's also how the system architecture is built from the day one. So, Shilpa, could you just help us when we talk about architecture? What are the key responsible decisions that need to be made up upfront?
Yeah, definitely, Maulika. So, what is AI? AI is all mathematical algorithms. So, they actually follow what we feed it or what we encode into it, right? Meaning the data. So, data is of utmost priority here. Like while architecting, previously, this was not the case for us, curating the data and all, but for AI If an AI is passing, it's not the AI algorithm majorly, but it is the data majorly. If an AI is failing, it's again the data. Okay, so first, data should be curated well. It should be checked for the biases. It should be checked for whether it is working for all the demographics, all the races, and it should be checked for its completeness, data completeness. Definitely, a time and budget should be allocated for data governance. It is an entire whole subject where data governance is needed while you're deploying a model. Then comes the architecture, wherein the designing of the model. Okay, whoever is designing the model should be really aware of the biases, the fairness, the transparency, the explainability. Not every model might have to explain, but at least the high severe models must be able to explain. If a model is detecting a cancer for a person, it should be able to explain, right? And then auditability, adding audit trails everywhere. Just in the pursuit of speed, we might miss out really logging everything. But let us add audit trails, which really helps us in really going back and debugging, right? And then monitoring. After it goes to the production, how do we monitor? It's not just like, okay, we deployed it, we will leave it. We have to monitor it. And before deployment, the evaluation of the models with various techniques. Okay, all these again, like how we used to test the software systems, where we had edge cases, we had performance testing, we had stress testing, everything, right? Then why not for AI? Right. So we need to come up with the right frameworks, exhaustive frameworks based on the severity of the models. Few models might not need a lot of such processes, but come up with the frameworks to test the models, validate them, verify them, apply. Okay, let me give you one small example. Okay, wherever we have to log in our company portals and all, we have accounts, right? Roles and responsibilities are assigned to those accounts. Okay, but now we have AI agents who can call our APIs, internal APIs. They can be severe APIs, I mean high severity APIs as well. But do they have these roles and privileges, roles and responsibilities, access controls applied, privileges, least access privilege, and all whatever we have in cybersecurity? Are they applied yet? Not at all. Many companies are lacking these. If agents are allowed to do whatever it can do, as you know, Gen AI can hallucinate. It hallucinates whenever it wants. We have seen many cases. So let us apply roles and responsibilities and access privileges for the non-human identities. Let us call these as non-human identities and let us apply all these. So actually there are a lot of frameworks to do this. I mean, I might not be able to give the entire exhaustive list here, but at every stage, data, modeling, deploying, and after post deployment monitoring, everywhere we have lot of controls that can be applied, tracked, and finally we can actually lead to a trustworthy AI, which is responsible AI. And we do have some frameworks like OECD, NIST, and all. We can just go through them. Those are the global standards actually, which talk about applying all these for fairness, ethical, human centric, mostly. These are machines. Now we are making machines very intelligent now, right? They are kind of getting more speeder than us, right? Than humans. So when we are really empowering them, let us apply controls. I mean, so these frameworks help us with the standards related to applying human centric controls and measuring them and all. So we can follow these. The organizations can invest on these and apply these everywhere, right from the architecture itself.
That's quite an interesting insight, Shilpa, for sure. Okay. Now we will little bit focus on the misconceptions and the blind spots, right? Previously, you have spoken about when the AI bots are filtering the resumes. It's historically it has been seen that the number of female workforce in the female workforce are very very lesser, right? So when it is being AI model is being trained with the historical data, it's automatically filter out the the women resumes, right? But it also, as per also one of the data from KPMG, supports the same thing, which says that less than half of users worldwide actually trust AI system, even though usage is rising very fast. So though people are using it, but not necessarily they are trusting it, right? Where does the notion of impartial AI breakdown in real deployments happen?
Yeah. So AI can think based on what we provide it. AI is a mathematical algorithm, statistics, it works based on statistics, but the statistics is derived from our data. So, whatever inputs we are giving to the AI, it works on that. So, it is actually, AI doesn't have any power without our data. Okay, so AI cannot be unbiased or biased or whatever without our data. At the same time, AI is not intentionally bad or intentionally malicious. It is just AI just works on the data we provide. If the data is narrow, AI takes that and works perfectly in that narrow lane. If the data is wide, AI takes the properties of the wide data and works in that wider lane. It's just a misconception that AI is objective, but actually, AI depends on human provided data and the algorithmic decisions which we provide actually. I can give you an example how data failures have happened. In 2015, Google Photos, for a black woman, the matching image it has given was gorilla. I'm not sure if anyone was aware of this. Why did it happen? Because their data, which they trained the model with, didn't have black women. As well, there were incidents where facial detection algorithms, the one which I built too, so they were giving lesser accuracy for black women over white men because the data was less. Then medical diagnostics are way different for men over other races or demographics or criminal records. What happens is like the data provided based on the historical systems, few races were automatically targeted in crime detection, though it was not needed. So it was AI only, right? AI could have been objective there, but no, it was fed with such data, historical data, and it behaved like that. So it is a complete misconception that it is objective and it can be unbiased on its own.
Okay, so it's not about the not only about the amount of data which with which the AI is being trained. It's also about the quality of the data, what is
Yes,
being fed, and how the model will get trained. Correct,
yes,
Shilpa?
yes, yes.
Okay. Now we will speak little bit about the workforce and trust. Another challenge in workforce readiness is that uh, it's not really it really says that governance is not just technical, it's also about people and culture, right? One of the KPMG data also shows that 39% of people report receiving an AI training. Only about 40% of their organization have clear policies for AI use. How do workforce skills and policy gap affect responsible AI adoption, Shilpa?
Definitely, Maulika. It definitely affects because I mean, ignorance is bliss. If we don't know, we just keep develop whatever we want and we deploy, right? That's not the thing. We really need to know the downsides of each aspect, because now we are going into real time systems. We are getting into contact of physical systems. Okay, AIs are getting into physical contact. Then in such cases, how can someone, okay, let's say the workforce can be at different levels, right? Person who is writing requirements or reviewing requirements, or designing the system, or developing, implementing, writing the code, or developing the data, or curating the data, gathering the data, testing or deployment, whatever. Whoever is this workforce, if they're not aware of these things, how can they really implement it in a responsible way, where we can ensure trustworthiness in the application, in the model, right? So companies have to gear up. They have to work on the AI literacy. They have to work on the compliance checks, and they have to work on the programs overall. They have to have some investment, fixed investments, fixed budget on these and all. It is very, very mandatory that companies do that, because without such knowledge, that's, I mean, let's say an employee has built a model with the data he had in the company. Okay, with let's say a 3 month data. Okay, whatever he sees, he will get accuracy as 100% or 98%. But when it goes into production, it doesn't work, right? As you know, the data is diverse. But the developer's confidence is so high because it doesn't know that it might fail, low literacy, they might actually take a wrong decisions. So instead, in order to save everything end to end, in order to save the redeployment, or checking the debugging, and everything, the root cause analysis and all, it's ideal that the entire company, entire organization who is working on the AI products, to really train their staff with the required information, the AI stuff and everything, the regulations, the governance, trustworthiness, and responsible AI concepts.
Okay. Now, when we talk about a lot of risks and issues with the use of AI, we also know that the better side of the responsible use of AI, right? As per also reports, it says that 80%, 81% of the companies have improved their innovation, 79% has increased their productivity, and 54% of organizations have increased their revenue. So these are not just some theoretical data, but these are actually real data from organizations who have reported. Now, why do responsible practice unlock better performance, Shilpa?
Yeah, so these work for short term, but long term, these are prone to fail. Example, I will give an example of my own experience. We built fraud detection systems in July. It was deployed into production in July. Okay, so even when I gave my introduction to Shubho, till then also it was zero frauds that has happened. But now, like from last 2 weeks, I have been working exhaustively on detecting, being able to detect the finest frauds. As well, recently we have seen Nano Banana coming up, which gives very, very fine, real looking documents or images and all, right? So it's evolving everywhere, everything is evolving. And just thinking that, okay, we succeeded, and just leaving it without monitoring or without guardrails, we are going to fail somewhere or the other. Mine is a live example, right? So it is high time. I mean, we need to consider all kinds of guardrails and responsible AI techniques and governance techniques while we go to the production, because the data is diverse, it's huge outside, and demographics are varied demographics, varied races. So we need to consider I mean, it's not just the short term. Definitely, to gain trust, it should be long term. And once trust is lost, trust is lost. And so, adopting responsible AI and AI governance techniques actually is an edge for a company, competitive edge for a company, which companies are not actually realizing yet. The thing, speed is the edge, but actually, long term trustworthiness is the edge, right? So, this allows us to have long term trustworthiness.
Okay. Now, with all these conversations, one thing is very clear. Responsible AI is not just about, no, it's not about like not using the AI. It's not about slowing down the innovation. It is about how we are training the model, how sustainable, how we are having a governance, proper governance around it, how we are architecting, and how we are training the resources who are going to use those models or who are building those models, right? Which actually makes the AI, the better usage of AI, and the risk reduces, which also gives a strategic advantage to the organizations.
Yes.
Now, Shilpa, if there is one question every AI team should ask before deploying system, what is that? What it should be?
um it's the entire framework, is it followed or not? I mean, that's what, like, so every organization should account for and come up with the framework, governance framework. Actually, here, with respect to AI, cybersecurity and governance go together. Okay. So definitely, like how we had cybersecurity testing earlier, now, like, AI governance plus cybersecurity framework should be adopted, and having a check rule book or whatever for checking and applying all guardrails, all audit trails, transparency, explainability, and all, ensuring that all are checked, right? Data governance, along with data governance and all. It's again like a regular testing rule book or cybersecurity testing rule book, governance rule book. It should be followed traditionally and then only deployed. It's like complete, I mean, it also includes the evaluation of the models. It's little newer kind of guardrails, but applying all those systematically would really help.
um from all this conversation, also one thing I want you to, maybe in a very small and crisp way, take away for the leaders is that what is that mindset shift the leaders should have, so that they can actually incorporate in their real time use cases.
Um, yeah, so responsibility AI is not reducing speed. Responsibility AI actually takes you a long way. It will help you have trust with your customers or the clients and all. So definitely it should be mandated, and applying budget for, I mean, a fixed budget for that would really help. And yeah, ensure that there are no systemic failures in the physical environment.
Thank you, Shilpa. I really had myself quite a lot of insights, which I was not really aware from by myself for sure. Uh, Shubhabrato, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Molika. It was great discussion. So I do have a couple of questions, but before that, let us take some question from the chat, and if anyone has some question, like we can also try to address that. So question from Rajesh: why can't responsibility be reviewed as part of the proposal shaping itself? May AI solution shaping can be left to the architecture. Responsibility lies across life cycle.
Uh, so is the question that even before architecture, even right at the proposal,
That's correct. Yeah.
yes, yes, I do agree with that. That it is at every level. definitely right from the strategy room, boardroom, till the deployment and monitoring and the usage. It is at every level. However, architecture holds the major role here because they are the ones who is developing, designing the entire system where it is needed. But actually, it is everywhere. It is definitely, it's a very valid point, and it is everywhere. It should start right from the
Hmm.
boardroom where the importance is learned and applied.
Correct. So, if I may try to extend a little bit of Rajesh's question now, what all things you talked about are very valid, and we are not debating that those are to be considered. But the question here is, even after, let's say, 2 to 3 years of the when the disruption started, when the strategies are right adopted, etc., but still we are, why are we having even discussing that thing? Why it is not already taken care of? What is preventing us, right, in taking? Because some of the example that you have given us, right, the Google photos, right, the black lady, etc., etc., and there are multiple examples like that if we move around. But these are all known facts, right? But question is why people not have understood or learned from those areas and coming up with this. So what are they really doing to prevent this kind of situation even from occurrence?
So, Shubho, like, I mean, I'm in the startup world.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I meet a lot of founders
Correct.
and a lot of investors and all.
Mm-hmm,
So what do I listen?
mm-hmm,
Though few investors or few people, a few leaders, they might not know the entire AI, but they just
mm-hmm.
want AI.
Right.
They don't know what they want. They just
Mm-hmm,
want AI. And I do hear that they have billions of dollars as well.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I got a call from a US associate saying, Shilpa, I got a requirement. There is some $1,000 billion budget. We need to do something in healthcare. They don't
mm-hmm.
know what it is.
Right.
So when people are at that level, how can we expect someone to really employ all this? There's one classic ignorance example or classic example where we missed few things. Navigators. All of us
Mm-hmm,
use navigators, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you ever thought that navigators are missing few critical features?
Correct.
Like
Mm-hmm,
they were built for speed, efficiency, and accuracy.
mm-hmm,
But did any navigator tell us like, no, no, this is a danger zone, don't go there. This
mm-hmm,
is an accident prone area,
mm-hmm.
don't go there. Or it
Right.
is a, it's not a lit area, like not a
Mm-hmm.
light area, don't go
Right.
there. No, right? But this is needed, right? I mean,
Mm.
at least for women, it's needed, right?
Right.
If only this was there, maybe we would have saved a lot of people,
Correct.
right? So this was missing.
Mm-hmm,
So it's the awareness and such frameworks adoption was missing. Okay,
mm-hmm.
but as you said, why companies are not yet doing it? It's just the rat race, speed. They just want AI, they just want deployment, they just want to ship the product and start selling it. That's what I understand as per my knowledge till now.
Okay, fair point. Now, if I may try to right give it to, I mean, if I may try to understand how you are, you need not to share your company's USPs, but as a startup owner, like we have in the introduction, we were hearing that you have built a kind of fraud detection system, and which is helping a multinational bank, right, to save so and so. How do you ensure that you are not making the same mistake? What kind of checks
Um,
and balances you are employing there from an architecture point of view? Because still you may be having the same challenge of the air literacy, still you may be having the challenge of less number of data, because that is the driving factor, right, behind the scene. So how are you ensuring that you are also not getting into the trap, right? So.
Yeah, so now we burnt our hands.
Mm-hmm,
We saw the frauds again.
mm-hmm,
These are the most finest frauds.
uh-huh,
So now we are the same way. We are drafting the various kinds of frauds that can happen. Uh, m- uh, though earlier we were proactive,
mm-hmm,
but because of the sophisticated AI systems that have come in now,
mm-hmm,
we have failed again. So
right,
now we are trying to be more proactive than reactive.
correct,
Meaning, what else could happen?
right,
Okay, if someone is swapping a face, Is he
Mm-hmm.
just swapping the face or tilting it slightly?
Mm-hmm.
Or is he just tilting it slightly or zooming the picture as well?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, ours is forensics, right? Every pixel by pixel we verify.
Correct.
Okay, so everything is important for us.
Mm-hmm.
So we are taking everything into consideration. Honestly, here again we are driven by speed. I need to
Absolutely.
fix it as soon as
That's a
possible.
competition. Yeah, you have to run a
Yes,
competition. Yeah.
more than competition for us now, we have to save millions.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Customers
Mm-hmm.
would lose millions in the bank
Mm-hmm.
if we don't run behind it. But yes, even we need to apply the governance. For now, we are still in the guardrail stage
Mm-hmm.
and model evaluation,
Mm-hmm.
and we would be having monitoring. So now in our strategy, we have a constant monitoring techniques as well
Mm-hmm.
that we would be applying, and there are some tools as well to really check the data completion,
Mm-hmm.
uh, how diverse is the data and all. Data quality we have been taking care. So though we don't have a structured set yet, I I honestly agree to it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but we are trying to apply a lot of various guardrails and exhaustive testing and all. We are
Okay.
already into it.
Right. Now, I really liked your point that you said prevention, right? More proactive approach than reactive. Now, here I have a point. Now, as you said, the AI can be intelligent only when it has the data to write, uh, what should I say? I mean, to support, correct? Now,
Yes.
with the algorithm becoming smart, right, with the data analytics becoming smart, the hackers' thought process are becoming even smarter,
Yes.
correct? And you may not always rely on the historical data because that kind of fraud never happened at all. So how
No,
will you get the historical data? So is it a fair statement to say that there is no way to come up with a foolproof system? Rather, it's a more of a cognitive kind of system that as and when these things happen, we will try to prevent from recurrence than preventing it from occurrence because AI cannot really think, right? They are relying, again, I'm putting a very straight question here because as we said that AI is dependent on the historical data, the kind of data you feed, or maybe how can we make it a kind of foolproof system that we can prevent it even from occurrence, that we act smarter than what hackers are thinking? I mean, I
again,
know like I may not be getting a direct answer, but since you are right into the system, I'm just trying to get your thoughts around it.
see, again, I would suggest data,
Mm-hmm.
applying a strict data governance, gathering as wider data as possible. For
Right.
me now, I will be successful
Mm-hmm.
only if I'm employing all kinds of frauds
Mm-hmm.
in my data training.
Correct.
So what we do is we go, I mean, maybe I cannot expose here,
No, no, no,
but
absolutely.
we get varied kinds of fraud data.
Mm-hmm.
We even
Mm-hmm.
spend money. We get varied kinds of fraud data. We even generate fraud data like
Right.
10,000 images.
That's also an investment. Yeah, yeah. That's also an
Yes,
investment.
we
Yeah.
even generate, and so we are investing a lot of time on data, honestly. So I would say always it's data quality, data variety,
Mm-hmm.
and data curation,
Mm-hmm.
and avoid data poisoning. We
Mm.
need to have
Good point.
controls.
Mm.
Yes, we need to avoid have controls in our system
Mm.
where data poisoning is prevented.
Right.
Actually, for us, data poisoning is happening, so we
Mm-hmm.
are applying controls there. Okay, so it's all about data first. I mean, like, yeah, we need to apply. We do have a lot of frameworks as well, so we can employ the frameworks, and we can come up with the right. It's all in the data. Success lies in the data, actually.
Okay. One last thing before I open it for the audience, right? Um, let's say the team members are told to generate the code using AI,
Hmm.
right? Team members are told now. Earlier, the team members used to do the estimate because they were the people who were doing the estimation. They are the people who were doing the entire coding. But now, some part of the coding is done by the AI.
Yeah.
Now, the question here is when that logic fails, where is the accountability going? Because if we come back to the team member say, no, I have got the data which is Copilot giving me. So how
Hmm.
can you hold people accountable for this, like as we said, right? Algorithm, right? Not proper algorithm, or maybe the biasness, right, which we could not control. How can we ensure that this is right? Or this can be taken care of. Who can be held responsible here?
See, we are suggesting employees to use AI
Mm-hmm.
for speed.
Mm-hmm.
But still, one thing is we can account it for the entire compliance checks and all. But as per my personal opinion, it is a person who implements it.
Right.
See, already their job is easy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're just generating and giving it,
Right.
right? So why don't they check it properly, having a
Mm.
good human check, okay,
Right.
human loop, and give it?
Mm-hmm.
I won't agree that, okay, you asked me to use AI and now I used it. I don't know
Mm.
what it is.
Exactly.
You're an engineer, you are
Right.
employed for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel the responsibility lies with the person who deploys it, who
Mm.
implements it.
Right.
Okay. Because I myself code, I'm
Mm-hmm.
hands on.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what it is. I know what
Right.
it is to generate the code and use it in production,
Mm-hmm.
right? So people might think that now AI is generating code. I don't have to
Correct.
learn coding.
Right.
That's wrong.
Mm.
People still have to learn coding,
Mm.
still have to be hands-on
Mm.
in order to identify the issues in the code.
Correct.
Because the vibe coding, what it does is it makes us run in the same loop
Mm.
and we lose time.
Mm.
If we don't know coding, we might miss out some issues which is actually making us run. How
Agree.
can we rely on AI completely?
Right.
Yes, use AI, accelerate your
Mm.
work,
Mm-hmm.
but not replace your judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere it should be replaced, Shubho. See, even young minds now,
Mm.
they are using AI quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who has to write an essay, my daughter just goes to ChatGPT directly and generates the essay.
Right.
So there's that critical thinking happening.
Mm.
So AI should always be used as an amplifier
Right.
and not at all as a replacement.
Ah.
So let us use it. Let us become 10x or 50x,
Mm-hmm.
but not AI replacing us. We will lose our critical thinking powers.
Absolutely.
We should, even to my team, I tell them to use, I give them licenses and
Mm-hmm.
all, anti-gravity and all,
Mm.
but I tell them to read the entire thing, why it has arrived at
Right.
that decision, and what is the code, and is there any issue, whatever decision we made and whatever it is giving, is there any issue? For me, it happened. I
Mm.
took its code. It was keeping on giving wrong answers, false answers.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had to sit, and one whole day I had to sit and see the entire code and fix everywhere, and then
Mm.
it started working, and then only I could put it into production. So human in loop is extremely important.
Mm.
Please do not replace our thinking with AI.
Mm-hmm.
It should just be an enhancement, an accelerator, or a co-pilot,
Mm.
not our replacement. Let
Right.
us have that critical judgment, critical thinking with
Mm.
ourselves, and use it just for supplement. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. I mean, we can go on, right, discussing on that. That's a great topic, but we have to. I think Rajesh has a question. Rajesh, shall I go ahead, or you want to just read it
Can you
out?
hear me? Oh, yeah, go ahead, Subha. You can go
Okay.
ahead. No problem.
So, what should be the mindset to be wired to imbibe responsibility with respect to AI literacy, leading to a better leverage of AI? I mean, how can we, right, wear their mindset to imbibe the responsible AI right from the beginning, right, when we talk about the AI literacy?
Yeah, thank
Um,
you.
it's for me.
You answered in portion, Shilpa. Yeah, you answered in bits. Everywhere is there. But
Yeah.
what my trouble with this is, you as you rightly said, I have 100 million, right? And then get me something done is not the right mindset, right?
Correct.
In that case, we should consult them that, okay, you need a AI officer. You lay down as is to be processed. And then what is the knowledge base that can be data enabled, not? So it's a process in itself, right? But today what happens is, with regards to any stakeholder, I say, even the sponsorer, even the developer, everybody is having a mindset. AI is there, it should take care of it. I don't
Correct.
care, kind of. That is what I feel. I'm trying to move away from that. I'm trying to tell my stakeholders, people around, as you rightly said, it's a leverage. It only gives us the compute power, not more than anything else. So how I put my brain into to make as a compute power so that I don't have to do anything repeatedly, or so whenever the scenarios of permutation combinations comes, the game of chess comes, machines never get tired. They can tirelessly do it.
Correct.
So this mindset is not there with people across the chain. So I want to, being person on ground, how will you fix this is what my question is. How can we fix this collectively? It's education across the cycle or chain.
Yeah, it's just the hype. It's just the hype people are following. More education about what exactly it is would help them understand help them understand few complex things. It is proven that for a human, just one time learning or two times learning, we can learn it and reproduce. But AI systems needs billions of such data to learn, right? You can see the difference, right? The cost it is taking, and we have already seen the risks it has and all. So everyone should be aware of these. I mean, instead of just going with the hype, maybe we can educate them with the same thing, right? It's not just following the hype, it's about learning, because not everywhere AI is needed, not everywhere
Yeah.
AI should be deployed. Even I don't use AI everywhere. Though our company name is AI Burst, what I do is I couple deterministic programming with AI. Wherever the neural network kind of knowledge or human natural language processing is needed, I use AI. Wherever deterministic and I can do off with it, I use deterministic. Meaning, coupling and using AI wisely is very much needed. If someone doesn't know that, it's high time they need to get to know about these things.
Yeah. That's why this topic is very, very critical for us. What
Exactly.
we're discussing today.
Yes, yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Anyone else has any other question?
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
maybe I can go.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so it was a great discussion, by the way. A lot of insights. So on this ground, I mean, I think already you might have discussed a part of it, but Shilpa, like, how do you define this responsible success? I mean, what is that measurement criteria that you see that, we are at a success level of developing responsible AI?
A very good question, Shubhra. First thing is, once we are using AI, we should be prepared that it is probabilistic.
Mm-hmm.
As I told, even if I apply in my fraud detection systems all available fraud types right now, still I might fail after 3 months because
Right,
new systems would come.
right.
Okay. One good thing I can suggest is we have these frameworks like OECD, NIST, and
Mm-hmm.
there are many frameworks that are coming in. Even ISO has. So following them to the point might help us, but at the same time, when we are really dealing with AI, we cannot expect 100% success for sure. As I told in my
Right,
example itself.
right.
Okay, just minimizing the risk, reducing the risk. I know there are systems like autonomous cars and all, we cannot actually afford that risk. That's why still not many are into production.
Right.
Many are running in experimental mode. I've been to IIT Hyderabad. They
Mm-hmm.
made us roam in the autonomous car. Why is it not outside? Because still we see this probabilistic behavior. So we just want to minimize with the appropriate framework, using the appropriate framework. That I can answer right now.
Okay, I think maybe, as you said, I mean, the key is to, pivot it every period of time
Monitoring.
to, yes.
Yeah, that's
So, yeah,
reminding.
and
So
on
monitoring
that
is
line,
also
yeah,
important.
exactly. So
Yes.
on that line, maybe another question would be, like, on the designing part. So designing is also very important, right? So how are we designing for reliability and safety? And what are the known failure models, and what is a safe fallback for that?
Yeah, known failure models. I explained few, like even chatbots have failed, and AI models, like ML models, have failed, like because of the data and all. Again, having like C models are highly dependent on data,
Yes.
having data governance. data governance and following all the data governance principles. We have few, topics in that, like ensuring data quality, then preventing the data poisoning and all. Whatever, you can just go through the data governance part.
Yeah.
Applying proper data governance is extremely important. It's like shift left. We are
Yeah.
shifting left so that we minimize the risk. Okay, coming to what is a fallback.
Yeah.
Always use layered approach. Okay, let's say you're shipping a model. Okay, don't ship one model. Okay, have layered models, each one specialized in identifying something or detecting something, and then apply layers and come up with a risk score and use the risk score, not the
Right.
confidence score of that particular model. That's what we do. We layer a lot of models and in between we even apply deterministic code as well, deterministic approach as well. So, at the end again we have some fallback mechanism. We fall back to some LLM.
Right.
Okay. Maybe like you can apply all these, and with these we were able to come up to 99.7% accuracy as well. If you feel that it is a very high critical system and you cannot even fail slightly, then the fallback would be to switch off quickly and then revisit your entire system and then go to production. But
Right.
most of the times layering should help actually.
Okay. And if I don't know if anybody else has a question or not, but if not, then I'd like to ask the last one. So, like, we all know that when coming to the compliance or the policies in India, we are still in a nascent stage, right? So, what all things you are doing as part of your organization? How are you ensuring that the inputs are, getting in the level where the policymakers are, working on making the policy? So, are these inputs being taken there?
Maybe I did not get your
Yeah, so
question.
my question is like, there is a governing body who is working on making the policies, right?
Yes.
So are they taking inputs from the real life scenarios or the challenges that the organizations are facing right now?
Yes. Actually, there's EU AI Act, which has considered all these and come up with the frameworks. Even some Australian there's framework there. Even in India, we have ISO framework. I don't exact name of that. We do have those. See, the whatever failures which I mentioned in this meeting those happened in 2014 or 15. The
Okay.
Google photos or
Yeah,
hiding
yeah.
and all.
Yes.
So the veterans in AI, they're aware of these. They
Okay.
are aware of these and they are working on these and coming up with the compliance checks and all. It's only us who are new or AI enthusiasts who wants to really come up with innovations and all. Somewhere like we are missing that, but actually these are all well known facts, and government also knows and government is emphasizing on using these governance rules.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for all your insights.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, otherwise, thank you so much, Shilpa and Molika, for such an engaging discussion, and thanks, audience, for such great questions. So we really learned a lot. We know that, right? It is not something that we can learn in just a kind of 40-minute session. It's much beyond that. Maybe probably like if you're interested, we may try to go for a more probing discussions in future. But so far, it was fantastic. Thank you so much, Shilpa and Molika. Wonderful. And thanks to the right audience for great questions.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Shubho, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Shubho.
Thanks
Thank you,
everyone for
everyone.
your
Thank
time.
you. Bye-bye.